Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit the subscribe button. Trust me, you will not regret it. And if you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I appreciate the support. At the bottom of the screen, you will see my email address. You can contact me directly, guys. By all means, you can hit me up here. This is for you. This is just strictly for my YouTube viewers. I also have a PO box if you guys want to send me any type of gifts or things that you think I would like. And also, over here is my Cash App. And speaking of Cash Apps, I want to give a special thanks to two people. The first person is Michael Wise, who gave me a very generous Cash App donation to help me with my trip going down to Memphis to meet with to do a meet and greet with my subscribers. You guys have really supported me, and I figured I'd show love back. Another person, a very special person, I'm going to shout her out. I ain't going to say her whole name because she wanted to be anonymous, but I had to say something. She gave me a cash donation too for the trip to Memphis to see you guys out there. And her name is Stella G. Stella G is an alright people, man. You know what I mean? I called her personally to thank her. Mr. Wise as well. You guys send these Cash App donations. Besides a shout out, to show that I'm honored to even, have you on my page. I will call you directly if you would like to thank you personally, And with that being said, I'm going to jump into this story. Now you can see I'm getting my voice back, so I'll try not to yell and lose it. But you guys have been coming at me for a while about this situation that happened in Laverne, Tennessee, with the Laverne Police Department. And this chick right here, Meagan Hall. Now, I left the story alone for a little bit because I have a lot of stories and I was trying to get the channel situated and stuff like that. But last night, it aired on television. She had an interview. And she talked a little bit about the situation and how they were grooming her in the position to do all the stuff she was doing with a hostile work environment and all of this other stuff. And you know how we do on this channel, guys. We ain't buying it. I'm going to play what they, just what the news channels said about the interview, and she's on there. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to try not to go off in this one. I'm going to try not to cuss. But you know how it is. I got to do it the way I do it. Now, check it out. Listen to three things. How she talks, the way she reads these statements off of paper, where the questions that she was answered, you wouldn't have to read a statement off of paper. And the third thing is, she's not crying, and look how she tries to make herself a victim. One more thing. Look who's on the ringer at the end of this whole thing. Out of everybody, look who's on the ringer. And you tell me if this ain't some BS. Hit it.
Meagan Hall was 24 years old when she was hired as an officer here at the Laverne Police Department 2 years ago. Her plan was to have a career in law enforcement. She now knows that dream is likely over.
I remember while interviewing for the position at Laverne Police Department, they described the environment as a family. However, while I was aspiring to protect my community, the Laverne Police Department was not protecting me.
By now, most of the country knows what happened. Hall, 4 other officers, and the police chief were fired last month. This after 2 separate investigations found that Hall engaged in sexual activity and/or shared intimate photos and videos with several male officers. The chief and 2 sergeants were among those implicated. Now Hall and her attorney, Wesley Clark, are suing those 3 supervisors and the city in federal court for civil rights violations.
Meagan wasn't looked at like a rookie cop to be trained and promoted. She was looked at as a piece of meat to be sexualized and exploited.
Since the story broke, Hall, the lone female officer fired and only woman on the second shift, became a target nationwide for sexual jokes and taunting.
I received harassing and threatening messages on my phone daily. I felt like I had been terrorized.
And yes, now she is suing. No criminal charges have been filed in the case. Hall knows there are those who will say she was a consenting adult who willingly participated in sexual antics in violation of police department policy, and that now she wants to blame others, including one sergeant who targeted her early on.
I know what most people are saying. You know, you could have said no. I get it. But my response to them is that I did say no, and he wouldn't take it for an answer. Eventually, I gave in from pressure.
So it's not as easy to say she could have just said no.
She did say no on several occasions. Miss Hall tried to get out of this relationship, and she was not allowed to.
Hall concedes she participated under duress. She's not saying she was raped, but adds that the salacious details made public of sex on the job put her alone center stage and do not tell the whole story.
They isolated me, they shunned me, they accused me, and they blamed me for becoming a victim.
Hall suffered from depression to the point of considering suicide and at one point was hospitalized. She felt trapped.
My supervisors worked together to take advantage of my vulnerabilities and my mental health. And they used it for their gain and sexual pleasure.
And that included the police chief, Chip Davis. The independent investigation found he was aware of what was going on and even received intimate photos and videos of Hall.
Who do you even turn to when the chief of police is sexually harassing you? How could I get justice when the entire system, including the chief, not only condoned such behavior, but participated in it? I was lost and I felt alone. I had no one to turn to, and I had nowhere to go.
Hall now realizes her career in law enforcement is likely over, and she knows those ugly memes on social media will remain forever, her reputation sullied.
No woman should ever have to endure this type of abuse. What happened to me during my employment at Laverne's police department, it should never happen to anyone.
Hall now hopes to put what happened to her here at the Laverne PD behind her. She is married and says she has a strong family support system and says that it was her faith that helped carry her through the turmoil. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Come on, man. Come on, Meagan. I know you don't believe we gonna believe that. Guys, listen, man. Stuff like this and this cancer culture and all this stuff, I don't even, man, listen. Let me say something to you guys real quick. Do you see, it seems like, and I hope some of my female viewers understand where I'm coming from with this. I'm talking to everybody, not just the men. Don't think it's going to sound male oriented because it's coming from a male. I'm just giving my perspective. It seems like anybody nowadays can sue, and it's like a lot of laws and stuff are made up to attack men, or it's very easy to attack men, and I don't understand the agenda. So if somebody could please leave it in the comment section below. Maybe I'm not the only one that feels like it seems like it's a lot of laws out here that want to make men just the villain of something. I don't understand. Let me start with her lawyer, Wesley Clark. You, sir, are a douchebag. You sitting up there and talking about stuff you don't even know, that you would only know in the bedroom or if you was there with the people. She didn't do it. She was coerced. How you know you was there? You shouldn't have even been talking. She should have been talking most of the time. What did you notice, guys? She claims she was a victim. No tears, no flashbacks of anything, no trembling lips, no red nose from sniffing. She sat up there with them fucking hamster cheeks and read off a damn piece of paper, stuff that you don't even have to read a piece of paper for. It's general knowledge because you were there. Sometimes when they read off them statements, it discredits them immediately. Let's get into this. This is the issues I have with this whole situation. She claims that she was terrorized and teased by the community. So now, the community, it's the community's fault. Not even it's the community's fault. The community is bad for teasing you because you got caught between a cock and a heart place. You understand what I'm saying? You got caught. You willfully did this shit. So now all of a sudden, because you're getting teased, people are threatening you. Ain't no man or I know it ain't a woman. So ain't no man out there threatening you with bodily harm because you took ding-a-ling from somebody else besides them. Come on, you ain't that important. looking at you without makeup on. You look like Mr. Bean without, man, I'm not even going to, listen, we're not going to, let's move along. Listen. They were pressuring you and you gave in to the pressure. You were the only woman on night shift. Let me tell you something, guys. If that did happen, which I don't think it did, what I think happened is this. She was the only woman on the night shift. I don't know how big Laverne, Tennessee is, and I don't know how big the police department is. But honestly, it seems like it's not that big of a town. So she's the only woman on there at night, right? Now, all the police officers that they showed, what was it, 3 black guys and what, 2 white guys? Guys talk a certain way, right? If you was all pressured and all of this stuff, see, what guys do is we insult each other. That's how guys are. If you a girl and they like you, they will treat you like a guy and talk freely in front of you unless you say something. Hey, I don't feel comfortable with that. Then they'll show you respect. And another thing is, most guys know what they can and can't say around a girl. So what happened was people was trying you and you was laughing about it and you was even joining in because you wanted to be what? One of the boys, one of the guys. And then it escalated out of control and then they treated you like one of the guys except for you had the punani and they didn't. Facts, man. Facts. Man, give me a thumbs up if you feel me on this, people. Come on, man. Come on. This is the big kick. And this is what makes me mad. Not saying it was rape, but she was pressured. Do you see that trigger word? Pressured. Pressured. Like it's somebody, it's like, look, like it's this big giant dingaling just sitting here putting weight on her till she has to turn and face it. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid stuff, man. Silly stuff. And it's like, you know, I can't believe sometimes looking at the story, a lot of variable factors happen to where, like, if they didn't unfold the way they unfold, she'd still be happy at the force. You know what I'm saying? And things would continue the way they was continuing. She was there from age 24 to 26. You was pressured during that time. Let's cut the crap. You were a police officer. You somewhat of an intelligent being, even though you did some stupid shit. Let's be honest. If you really felt pressure, your husband at home, they know you got a husband because you what? Wear a ring. No guys are going to really come up en masse, some sex-hungry guys at a workforce that just pile on you like you look like, name somebody attractive in Hollywood. Anyway, and they can't resist. They got to risk their job and their career because some of these guys were married. They got to risk their job and their career to just shoot their shot with you, a married woman. Stop it, man. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Didn't rape me, but they didn't pressure you, but they pressured you. So if it wasn't rape, what was it? Because that means you was trying to what? Fit in, if that. Man, this stuff is stupid, bro. This is stupid. This should not even go to court. If I was the judge and they brought this in here, ma'am, I asked her 3 questions. Ma'am, was the sex consensual? Yeah. They pressured you? How did they pressure you? They were saying stuff. Did they touch you and put you in the doggy position? No. Did they, R-word, did they rape you? Well, not exactly. Good. Get the fuck out. Next case. Come in here with that dumbness. I'll be throwing these type of cases out. Because if you had accusers like that, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be showing your face and all this type of stuff. Now that you done got caught, all of a sudden, the community pressure is so much. I'm getting threatened by outsiders. Somebody has to do something and get these bad officers that sexually forced themselves on me, even though it wasn't rape. Something has to be done. I want justice. Brings me to the next point. She said her supervisors worked to take advantage of her vulnerabilities and mental health. Okay. The police chief did not supposedly come at her with advances. He just had knowledge of it. And I'm sure he probably said something like, hey man, y'all crazy, cut that crap out. You know what I'm saying? He probably was one of them type of chiefs. All right, chief, we'll chill. And he left it alone, and that was his mistake. He should have fired him then. He should have fired him then. Anything that could come back, he should have fired. And this is the same situation. And I'm going to tell you something. Did you see how fast that chief got out of there for something as insignificant as this? But your peoples in Memphis is still there? Keep note of that. But listen, her vulnerability. How was you vulnerable when you was sitting there exposing the Red Sea to any black or white fish that was going to swim up in there? Any salmon that was going to swim up sea? I don't understand this, man. It makes me mad, and I don't mean to sound vulgar, but if I was in front of her, I'd be saying this, like, yo, you sound dumb. It wasn't rape. You the one that opened your legs to him and willingly took it. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, I looked at other news stories. Oh, I was in the hospital. She was recorded. I bet you she wasn't in the hospital for no suicide. Talking about she had mental health. And if she had mental health, why would y'all have her working with a gun when the reason for the mental health is the people that surround the environment? If she had reported that, and you know every police department has some type of psychological psychologist that works for them, right? Somebody tell me I'm lying. She could have went in there, it'd have been indiscreet. They'd have took her off the force with paid leave. They'd have looked the same people. And people would have been trembling in fear like, oh my God, we got phone records. We got this. And she'd have been taken care of. Because nobody wants it going to the mayor, which it did, or going to the press. And if that didn't work, you could have ran right over there to whatever news station it is, in uniform. My name is such and such, and I'm not taking this no more. You did not have to play that game. You did not have to play that game, Ma. You did not have to play that game. You was curious. You had black dudes, white dudes. You've been with white dudes, Tennessee, I don't know how it is out there, but it's a lot of people in real life that have stayed within their race and is curious about the other race. We're not even going to play that game, y'all. We all know that. I've been curious. Everybody's been curious. Now, whether you act on that curiosity or an opportunity for you to act on that curiosity comes up, is up to you. She chose to take that. You understand what I'm saying? They're doing this in the police department. So you could say you was pressured there. But outside the police department, now you can't say you're pressured. Because you on a party boat. You turned it into the bang boat. Then you're over here twerking in the hot tub. Listening to Meg the Stallion. You was happy as hell. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees. Now all of a sudden you caught up. Because you got caught. Somebody anonymously told the mayor. Now you get caught all of a sudden. Oh my God, it wasn't me. It was them. And if you got mental health issues, why are you running around with a gun? Why would you still want to do that job if you can't think clearly? See the bull? See the BS, man? Come on, dude. Let's get to this next point. I got my cards here. I'm hot. This her talking at the end. And she read off a paper. She could have said this if she felt it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here, I feel this, I'm saying it. How can I get justice when the entire system not only condoned, but participated in? What system? The justice system? Because a lot of us feel the same way when we get wrongly arrested or thrown down in the street or just sitting there and a police officer walks up on us and says, what's in your pocket? You mind if I search it? And you're not doing anything. So don't sit up here and act like you're a victim because you probably did that same shit. People are in jail right now that don't even know why they're in there. I've seen it. So we're not even going to play that game. Now all of a sudden you on the opposite side of the fence and you with the same people you locked up over some ding-a-ling. Man, I had no one to turn to and nowhere to go. You could have went the fuck home and stayed there. You could have told your husband. That's who you turn to. The news station right there. You come in there in uniform, not even crying. That's a juicy story, and you know the media would have been all over it because everybody wants to do what, guys? Break it first. Break the story first. You was enjoying that shit until it got hot and heavy. You're sitting up there talking about you had mental illness. Was that before or after your headboard was, you was banging up against the headboard when they was tearing your back out? See the game? And I'm not attacking her. She is not a victim in this, guys. If she, and, you know, I'm gonna call it down the middle. And I'm just saying it from a standpoint of, man, this is bullshit. You get caught all of a sudden, ain't your fault. And we see this a lot. It be husband and wives doing the thing. You remember the dude the story I did where the dude was nutting on the muffins or whatever the hell, and they took it to school. She get caught. All of a sudden, I need a divorce. I gotta get away from him. And they put it on him. Man, get more time. We see this all the time. Now she's trying to make them the victim when she willingly rode the baloney pony. Yeah, I said it. With the Rainbow Coalition. You want from the darkest dark to the whitest white. So basically you just experienced everything in between. You know all you need to know about colorism in the male anatomy. And I feel bad for a husband, man. I feel bad, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. Listen. This is the part that really made me mad. No woman should have to endure this type of abuse. Guess what, Meagan? Most women wouldn't endure that type of abuse because they wouldn't have wanted a 9 to 5 where they work every day and tried to have sex with as many colors of the rainbow as they could. And what's sickening to me is you did all of this stuff and it don't matter regardless of what the color the men are. You was going home and kissing your husband in the mouth like nothing was happening and having sex with him like nothing was happening. What if you had brought something home to that man? Think about it, guys. If she had brought something home to that man, what do you think? You think he would have been right to knock her head off? We're not thinking. She was all about herself. They was all about their self. And them dudes that was married is pieces of shit. You married. And you gonna mess around. And they older guys. Listen, look at these dudes, man. Let's keep it real. Look at these dudes. A lot of y'all ladies out there looking at these dudes. If these dudes hollered at you in the street, a lot of y'all like, ew. She hit it. These motherfuckers here. The one right there looked like he married. Mustache. He looked like he married. Look how clean it. You can tell a married man. They clean. Look at him. Somebody take care of him. He's happy. She set herself up. And I don't like that putting women in it. No woman should have to endure this. No woman at all. But you put yourself in that position. See, it's a difference between an honest mistake and willful error, people. You chose to do that out of your curiosity, your thirst, and lust. It was multiple times. If it was that bad, you wouldn't have went through it again. And if they were so bad, why were you going to off work events with them, knowing you're going to only be the woman there and you was victimized already? See the game? See the game? Check this out. She said that no woman should endure that type of abuse, right? Look what she said in follow-up. It should never happen to no one. And it won't. We ain't never heard no kind of crazy story like this. You the first and probably the last, because people going to look at you and they going to learn from this. I done met plenty of girls on jobs. And I shot my shot. You know, guys do that. Hey, listen, no offense, you cute, but I don't mess around at a job. And you know it's awkward. It's awkward. You know what I'm saying? She probably was dealing with all them dudes. Some of them wasn't good to her like other ones was. And she probably was like, I don't want to mess with him no more. And then it kind of like, it was an awkward situation for her because she didn't know how to say no. That's where you get the pressure from, because she don't say what's in her mouth. And that's how I see this whole thing, guys, man. I see this whole thing as stupid. But at the end, and it's the part that hurt me, at the end, it seemed like only the black dudes was getting the civil service suit. And then all of a sudden, supposedly, she got another lawsuit against another detective. So I'm assuming he was one of them two white dudes, but they never showed his face or no, they showed his face, but they never said his name. So their anonymity, they probably was married men, stays intact. That is not right. And that's one of the problems I have in America. You know what I'm saying? With the way the media does things. That's bullshit. Like a man to do something, they will plaster your dumb ass all over the news media. A woman will wrongly accuse you of something, guys, and you hear me on this. Even if it comes out that it's false, the media will never put her face up there. I don't like that. If you accuse somebody of something and you went to the media, show your face. Yeah, I'm serious because he did it. Don't be hiding behind the shadows, waiting. No. You're not going to hide behind somebody else to punch somebody in the face when you're supposed to do it yourself. Throwing stones and hiding your hands. Bullshit. They need to clean that up. I would throw this case out. Ain't no criminal charges. Like they said, ain't no criminal charge. Can't charge criminal charges on this. You can't. How you gonna charge criminal charges? She was a willful participant. I got mental issues. Yeah, we think so. You doing crazy stuff like that? Guys, leave me a comment. Tell me how you feel about it. I didn't mean for the video to be too long, but, you know. But before I go, like I said, this month, March 25th, I will be in Memphis for the meet and greet. I'm trying to set it up now. You know, I'm getting the donations. People are trying to help me, and I appreciate the donation to help make this event really big. Because I don't want to just come down there and, you know, we just meet outside or something. I want to have something nice for you. You know, so I mean, if you can give a donation and you're from Memphis and you want to meet me or you want to help your fellow Memphian, you know, because my flight is paid and all, but I would still like to see if I can rent or get some type of place where I can host a lot of people, because I don't know what the outcome is. But I mean, I want to give you guys the best experience of enjoying me as you can. So if you could, please donate to the Cash App. You know, I'll shout you out and call you personally to thank you. But like I said, guys, man, this is messed up. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, I appreciate. Big thanks to Stella G and Michael Wise, man. I appreciate Cash Apps. I appreciate the support. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.